All right, guys. Good morning. I'm really glad I'm able to kind of be here in voice, if not in person. Please make sure that you're being well behaved for your substitute. Remember, if they have to write down your name because you're not, there will be consequences, so please make good choices. All right, so go ahead and turn open to your table of contents and let's add Venn diagrams, LCM, and GCF on page 8. Okay. Go ahead and pause the video so that everyone could get that written down. Okay, so you should be open to page 8. So please write an 8 at the bottom. And then let's go ahead and draw your lines. Remember, one line traces where the white part and your first line is, and the other one traces the pink line that goes down on the side. Okay, we're going to write today's date in the upper corner, which is 8/29. Okay, and let's write, we're going to title this GCF and LCM. Okay, I know that this is nothing new. You did have this last year. However, I'm going to kind of show you a different way to do it because I know that, at least for me, I don't want to list every possible factor and see which one happens to be the correct one, or list every multiple because who knows how to count by 36s or 72s, right? So I'm going to show you kind of a little easier way to find both of these things. First, let's begin though by defining and remembering the LCM is the least common multiple. And I like to think of the last word multiple, sounds like multiply. And that's kind of what happens as you multiply the number or count by that number. The least common multiple is the smallest multiple that both of them have in common. Okay, which leads to the other one. The GCF is the greatest common factor. Okay. And yesterday we talked about factors, and we learned that those are the smaller numbers that are inside of a larger number. So what numbers can be multiplied together to make your target number? Those are the factors. Okay, so keeping those two in mind while we talk about today's lesson is going to be helpful. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is factor. And we learned how to do that yesterday. Let's say we have the number 24 and 32. Okay, if I factor 24, I know that 2 goes into 24. 2 is prime, so I circle it. 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 4 two times. So now I have 12, and I know that I can break that down to 2 times 6. 2 is prime, I circle it. And 6 is 3 and 2. Those are both prime. So my factors for 24, I have 3 2's, so I write 2 to the third times 3. And remember, the multiplication sign is that little dot kind of in the air. Okay, 32. I can do 2. 2 goes into 3 one time with 1 left over. So 2 goes into 12 now, 6 times. 2 is prime, 16 is not. 16 can be 8 and 2, 4 and 4, whichever one you want to go to. Remember yesterday we talked about how it doesn't really matter because the factors will be the same at the end, no matter which numbers that you choose to use. Okay, so this time I have 2, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2s, so it would be 2 to the 5th power. Okay, so the first thing I did was just factor, the same that we learned yesterday. Okay, so now let's go to the second step. The second step is to create a Venn diagram. These are the same that you've seen in reading and writing since probably like kindergarten or first grade. This thing that has the 2 circles. Remember, this is what is different. This is what they both have in common here in the middle. So here I have 24 and 32. And the first thing that I do is I look for what they share. What do both of these factors have in, or these number? Let me try that again. What numbers do both factors have in common? So I look here at 24 and 32. Well, they both have a 2, don't they? So I'm going to write a 2 here, and I'm going to cross off 1 2 from both numbers. Okay, here's another 2, and I have a 2 over here as well. So they both have those in common, or they both share it. So I'm going to do another 2. Okay, here's a 3. Does this one have a 3? Nope. So I don't write it down. They don't have it in common. Well, here's another 2. And yes, I have 2s over here. So I cross them off and write it here. Okay, there I'm going to stop because that's all that they have in common. I have 2 2s over here, but no more 2s over here that haven't been used. And I have 1 3 over here, but no 3s over here. So that's all that they have in common. And now that I have all of the things I have in common, I can find my greatest common factor. And all I do is I multiply these numbers in the middle. So I have 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2, of course, is 4, and 4 times this 2 would be 8. So my greatest common factor is 8. Okay, now I look over here at 24, and I say, all right, what's left over? What is different about the 2 numbers? And of course, the only thing that's different, or the only thing left over, is a 3. So I write a 3 here. Okay, then I go to 32, and I have 2 2s that are different, or 2 2s that are left over. So I do 2 times 2. Okay. Now, to find my least common multiple, or my LCM, I multiply all of these numbers together. So I have 3 times 8, right? We just found out that this multiplied together is 8, times, and then 2 times 2, of course, is 4. Okay. So when I multiply 8 times 3, I have 8, 16, 24, times, and then this 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. And so my least common multiple is 96. Thank goodness I didn't have to count by 24s until I hit 96, right? But that's all there is to it. I just do my Venn diagram, fill in the things that are the same about both of them, and the things that are different. And then I multiply only here, or all of the numbers all the way across. Okay, go ahead and stop the video. Please give the students the practice problems that are listed in the notes on my desk, and the answers are also included so that you can go over those with the students as well and take questions. Please make sure to pass out the homework at the end of the class period. Thank you very much, and kids, I hope this was helpful. and you learned a little bit about greatest common factor.